to the counties. Last week we had the National Climate Outlook Forum that was preceded by the GACOF, and the products that IGPAC produces at national level can be cascaded up to the last mile. And through IGPAC also, the Participatory Integrated Climate Services for Agriculture, this initiative that has been rolled out. They are strengthening level. They are able to make climate smart decisions. The last area is climate services that cascade to the communities. Now, how can the National Met Services strengthen collaboration with IGAD to build a harmonized, people-centered early warning system for the region? I think this was the question. And what quickly came to my mind is that the Met Services and IGPAC should ensure that there is a robust two-way data sharing protocol system so that the IGPAC is able to access data. I know National Met Services have been very mean, quote and unquote, with the data, and this is something we need to open up, because when IGPAC has access to this data, it means they are able to develop more accurate regional products that will essentially benefit us, and this will improve accuracy at regional, more accurate regional products that will, and even countries should be able to downscale to their national levels, up to sub-county levels, and even to ward levels, just like we are doing in our country. Then IGPAC has a robust capacity building programs. Let the National Met Services also participate in this. And I would want to mention that in the people you nominate, please let us nominate the relevant officers so that they are able to gain and also transfer so they can become trainers of other trainers. Then fourthly, we can enhance collaboration with IGAD. Let IGAD use their expertise to help the National Met Services in identifying and bridging existing gaps, because various countries are at various levels. How can we identify these gaps? How can we be assisted in bridging them? Then partnering with other National Met Services and IGAD, this should be done to foster strong social capital and professional networks. IGAD can help us establish that social and professional network so that there can be peer learning and exchange of ideas. Lastly, as far as the National Met Services are concerned, let us support the IGAD agenda by institutionalizing these initiatives in the respective countries. For example, the early warning for all. Let's ensure that at the country level, these are also institutionalized. What would IGPAC, on the other hand, do? I have three proposals. One, coordinate development of products and services in the region such that member states are able to provide services that are more or less at par, so that we do not have any country lagging behind. Then also, IGPAC can also facilitate joint research, capacity building and knowledge exchange programs to ensure, again, no Met Service is left behind. Finally, I don't know whether this is possible, but this is a thought that came to my mind. IGPAC has a robust resource mobilizing system. If they could help us or help the less privileged National Met Services to facilitate infrastructural improvement, I believe if this was done, IGAD would reach the people at a much better and a more effective way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. Now I'm coming to the third panelist, which is also a special person to every one of us here, Dr. of IGPAC, and now coordinating climate services for Somalia. Mean already it took IGAD to people. The Director and Deputy S, with your permission, let me invite Director Artan or Goled Atan, who is a permanent representative of Somalia with World Meteorology Organization, WMO, to shed light in aspect of the fragile and drought-prone context, which is also permanent in Somalia. How can national med services like well-established or established med over Somalia tailored climate services to reach most vulnerable people while advancing IGAD regional climate diplomacy at the national, regional, taking it to global aspect? You are highly welcome.
Thank, 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 thank you, Paulina. Actually, I can hear myself, so you know. First of all, let me acknowledge the Deputy ES presence, my fellow PRs, Director of ICPAC, uh, the IGAD Head of Missions, ambassadors, welcome. I'm seeing a lot of friends that I haven't seen for quite some time. So I'm glad I'm back. Uh, Thank you, Paulina. So to answer your question, let me allow to speak from the perspective of Somalia, but also given my long service and experience from a regional point of view, my experience at the regional level. Somalia, it is one of the most climate disaster-prone countries in the continent. Actually, the region is overall it is, but Somalia is more so, especially the eastern sector of the region. In the last 15 years, we had 4 droughts, major droughts that were in once generation droughts, 3 major large-scale flooding, 2 major cyclone seasons. So actually the new normal is quite different. At present, climate services in Somalia, unfortunately, are fragmented. They are fragmented in ministries and agencies. I have been back in Somalia for the last 8 years, 8 months, sorry. And my primary job has been to reestablish, actually is a wrong to say reestablish, because Somalia never had a med agency. Although Somalia joined WMO in 1964, it never had a med agency. The civil aviation was also represented, but the biggest early warning and weather observation was done by the Minister of Agriculture. So Somalia, the Met service were always fragmented in Somalia. So we're in the process. The cabinet has approved. There is a draft law, and by the way, for those of you who were lucky to listen to the Somali president today, that was actually part of his speech. He mentioned we are on the path of establishing med agency. The draft law, actually, ICPAC had a lot to do with it. Basically, it's a draft law that ICPAC has developed 3 years ago. That with some always making a new law is like a sausage. So, but our vision is clear. We want to establish a modern, people-centered med agency, forward-looking. We don't want to relearn things that didn't work in other countries. But also, we have validated the strategy of the Med Agency in July. And within that, We we want to establish functional units at the lowest administrative levels. So climate services are rooted in a district advisories reach the people it needs to reach. While we are working on the med agency from the low point, we are working only also on from the infrastructure. We have submitted to SOP a proposal that has passed the first step. Hopefully in October it will be done. It's about 8 million. We're going to establish 18 GIPO to SOP a proposal that has passed the first step. Hopefully in October it will be done. It's about 8 million. We're going to establish 18 GIPOT compliant able to access that data. On the med, I will leave there. How? The best way is to tailor climate service in a fragile state or even in a normal state is co-production. Co-production, producing products that the people want, not what we want, not charts that nobody uses, that are scientific, but products that respond to their needs. Also, it means embedding, basically inserting climate services in the disaster risk management and social protection systems, so that information is linked directly to early actions. Our data, and that will hopefully improve the regional WRF model that ICPAC runs. When science is stronger, our collective voice in IGAD then is stronger. IGAD also has done an important step in climate diplomacy. I remember a few years ago at ICPAC, we established a forum for roots, align perspectives, and develop positions. I hope it's still functional. A face that was familiar on that. So, for the various climate envelopes that exist, that will reduce bureaucratic hurdles for fragile states like Somalia and South Sudan, and Sudan leading. Regional diplomacy can pool demands from our member states, presenting a stronger collective case for financing under the Green Climate Fund, Adaptation Fund, because the national progress in climate service can reinforce regional diplomacy. As one of the speakers was saying that weather doesn't stop at the border, and the models that they were using are mathematical abstractions. If they are not tied to reality, as they say, garbage from the member countries. Our position to support the member countries climate service must do two things. Climate service must do two things. They must protect to the negotiation table. Basically, IGAD, those who are the least capable in the region. But my conclusion is this: in Somalia, hopefully by January, we'll be able to share our data with the regional model. My hope is that also our modelers If I remember well, we have what is called the yearly one, the foundational training. If that can be expanded, because that is one of the things that I really uh, realize that there's a lot of need at the country level. And I will conclude. Thank you very much. Co-production.
Thank you very much, Director Dr. Guledatan. Just because the time is going, and also we have a side event will be coming after this. Just in interest of time, Deputy AS, let me, through your permission, to invite Dr. Bob Pugwang, who is a permanent representative of Uganda with the World Meteorology Organization, WMO. I can use also Dr. Ogwang, who is a former senior continental level. Now he's leading Uganda Met Services. Mean already he took continental level through the regional level to the national level. So we want to just get more insight from his side. How can Uganda experience in developing climate services to the farmers and communities inform IGAD effort to make climate informed and impactful at the local level as you experience this aspect from the regional when you was at the continental level in ACMAT, how we can get more in us at the continental level in ACMAT, how we can get more in perspective of experience, indirect. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. You'll allow me to write on the protocol already established and start by appreciating IGAD for the leadership in the region, particularly when it comes to climate services in the region and beyond. In order to understand what we do in terms of provision of climate services and beyond. In order to understand what we do in terms of provision of climate services to farmers and communities and how it informs to go through what we do. Weather stations across the country, and we continue to establish new stations. This time we're going for automatic weather stations. So we have been progressively increasing the number of observation points across the country.